My question is to the Minister for Education. Can the Minister advise the House on how the Marshall Liberal government is addressing urgent capital works across a range of government schools and preschools?
The Minister for Education.
I thank the member for Hammond for this question. He is a passionate advocate for schools, preschools, for learning in his electorate, and indeed it's a great opportunity to be able to talk about the impact of this budget released by Rob Lucas on Tuesday, his 8th budget, for a range of things. It's a budget, of course, that creates a stronger South Australia. It creates jobs, it builds what matters, it delivers better services. And through this program, of course, it is indeed doing all three of those things all at once. There is a $42 million schedule of works announced according to the Education Department's priority for some of the most urgent works, as indeed we follow the Education Department's advice in our capital investments in South Australia, whether it be new schools according to the Education Department's priorities or indeed scheduled capital works. Now, this $42 million package of measures, which is supporting learning preschools and schools from Lucindale in the southeast to Elliston in the West Coast, Langhorne Creek in the member for Hammond's own electorate, from Salisbury East, Nailsworth, Pimpala Primary School, Seaview Downs around the city, are a group of sites where urgent work has been needed to be done and why we are prioritising that investment. And indeed, some of these projects will start before the end of this year or will be completed in the next 3 years. And the member for Hammond's electorate, the Langhorne Creek campus of the Eastern Fleurieu Arta 12 school is a case in point. It's a school where there's been significant damage to the facilities. The learning areas are old. They are past their use-by date, sir, if you like. They've had extensive ongoing conditions for a number of years. And indeed that school, their governing council led by Sue Miller, Ian Kent, the principal, have been seeking assistance. And the Education Department was keen to help fix the buildings as part of our minor works project. But what was identified last year on close inspection of those buildings was that to bring those buildings to the level that we expect for our children to be able to have world-class education, teaching and learning, it was actually going to be a much better prospect to replace them altogether with modern modular facilities that will rapidly enhance, I think, the way that the expert teachers at Eastern Fleurieu School are able to deliver the curriculum at that site. Some of the other projects to be supported in this important announcement are the Balharry Kindergarten in Lucindale, where there's an important extension to the preschool to accommodate rural care, which is currently provided in an adjacent building which has significant risk issues and a lack of opportunity for supervision. At the Nailsworth Primary School, the Prospect Council has handed back to the Education Department the library that was previously used. It's a complex building requiring significant upgrades for it to be able to be suitable as learning areas. And indeed that project, we are committing $5 million to ensure that students in the Nailsworth Primary School and the member for Enfield's electorate will be able to get the benefit of world-class education in those facilities. At the Salisbury East High School, the member for King and I visited Salisbury East High School to engage with new principal Kristen Masters not so long ago, and indeed she was engaged with the department already, and certainly the member for King advocated strongly to pursue a project that was ultimately happened to, and I'm very pleased it formed part of the department's priority list. $4 million to expand the learning areas, particularly 2 classrooms for supporting inclusive education in that school. I tell you what, we went back and we visited the teachers of those very, very special young people, and those teachers are very exciting. They're making do as best they can at the moment in facilities that are not fit for purpose. They're going to have a special designed fit-for-purpose modular facility built for them, along with other areas. And the rebuilds at Pimpala and Seaview Downs, I tell you what, those have been on the cards and demanded by those communities for many, many years. 16 years of Labor, they got nothing. A Liberal government, in our first 4 years, we are delivering for those 2 schools.
Order.